Hey guys, welcome back to the Time Bomb channel, of course with myself, the Bombardier. And today's watch overview, is going to be of this okay, start that again. Today's watch overview is going to be on the NIXON Regulus. It's definitely not a new watch. It's been out for some time now. But NIXON is not really a brand that I've ever really been able to identify with. I mean, just looking over the website recently, it kind of feels like I'm shopping for one of my nephews when I'm on the website. But anyway, this particular watch has been on my radar for a while, and primarily because I think of its size, its shape, and its design ethos in the sense that it comes across as being a very no frills and solid piece. I'm not quite sure. Let's just get rid of that plastic while we're talking. I'm not quite sure what definition of Regulus NIXON were actually after. Here was it the Regulus the Star, Regulus the Metallic, or Regulus the Petty King? But anyway, I saw this one on Fleabay. Nobody else had bid on it, so I got it at a bit of a bargain. I think about £55 when they normally retail around 140. Just make sure, we're picking up on the watch and not on Dusty. There is a suggestion that the Regulus was designed with input from several US Special Forces chaps. I couldn't really find any real explanation of what they exactly did or what that exactly meant, but anyway, I just hope that if that was the case, that those guys got paid well for their contributions. And definitely the tactical label definitely applies here, which is what I think, for many of us, that's absolutely fine. But if that does put you off this particular version, they do have several other variants. I'll throw up some images here of some of the different colorways that you can get. There's even a transparent one here, and for the budding Sith out there's a Star Wars variant here, which really does change the appearance and the appeal. And then there's the bigger sister stainless steels, which come again in different versions. Okay, so getting into the specifics of the watch. Again, the camera seems to favour Dusty here over the watch. No comment. So it comes in at 46 mils across. It is a substantial 16 millimeters thick. The lug-to-lug depth there is 53 mils, which does indicate, as you can imagine, it is quite a lump. But I'll just pop it on wrist for you here to see sort of like what it looks like. I think it's sort of on wrist. It's not too top heavy, and it's certainly not nor is it bulky. The weight is 100 grams. So again, obviously made of sort of quite interesting sort of resin materials. There we go. But as I say, you can see quite quickly and easily, it certainly is a substantial piece. It's not going to be going under any shirt cuffs or anything like that, but clearly I don't think that's what it was designed for at all. As I say, but it is for the little that I've worn it since it's been out of the box, I haven't taken the tags off yet because I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it or stick it back on Fleabay. As I was saying, so fit-wise, this is probably a little bit more, with certain attire than certainly than with others. But I think what contributes to the design advantage of this watch is the placement on the buttons on the left. I'm going to put it on wrist again because I wanted to talk about that. I'll at least show you an image of what I'm trying to refer to. So with the buttons placed on the left, it's a super natural position here. Sort of fingers up against one side, and then you're doing this, pressing your buttons, etc., running through your modes. I think in comparison to say, it's impossible not to compare these to the G's. So with the G's, their buttons are minuscule. The only way I can get to operate these is shoving the fingernails in there, etc. This radically different, easy if your hands are wet or gloved. Yeah, makes the function of the watch much more useful than that. But I think that has been picked up on by many other reviewers of the 5600 series. And where's it gone? Even the 5610s as well. Those buttons didn't improve in any way. However, just a quick contrast on the Frog. Here, appreciate this is an older version of the Frog, but at least the buttons are more sort of user friendly. And again, if I think back to the Fugu that I reviewed the other day, with the buttons being on the left, that has that screw down crown. I mean, there's no way that you're going to be able to operate that with your right hand, when the watch is on wrist on the left side. Anyway, I'm rambling. So this has a 100-meter water resistance, thus it's sitting more in the sport than the dive category, I think. The movement, according to the blurb on a Nixon website, or they call it a custom Digi LCD. On the back here, it says China movement, but little other detail is available about that Digi platform. If I keep this watch, then definitely one day that case back is coming off. So I'm very curious to see the module inside. I did try and find images of the internals to see if anybody else had opened it up and taken photos, but I couldn't find anything on the interweb. If you guys have had a look inside and you know what's in there, let me know. Again, off the website, they're saying that the movement inside is encased in like a protective jacket and then foam padding also, which again really makes me want to check it out to see basically then, how does it compare with G-Shock module protection. Essentially what you're looking at here then obviously is a stainless steel plated bezel, which I think, whilst it's in this like muted black here, it looks really, really good. I think if you get a couple of dings on that, it's actually going to add to the look of this watch. The strap obviously is like a resiny PU type material. Let's just make sure that we've got the camera behaving itself. So at the top left of the screen, you've essentially got the mode. So this one at the moment showing is time. Obviously on the screen then you've got day, dates, etc. And in the middle then you've got the 00s, which are the countdown timers. Onto the functions. Let's start with the silly one. And the silly one, because I just don't get this. But in this standard time mode, the 8 o'clock button down here, or the the A or the B button, whichever way you want to call it, basically when you press it, sorry, I've turned the sound off. There we go. Just so that you can see that there's an affirmative press. So when you press the button down at 8 o'clock, all it does is it changes the year. Okay, so you've got day, date, year. And sorry, but I really don't get that. It's bizarre. Why don't you shrink the digits on that main screen to squeeze it all in one go? I mean, do you really, really need a pusher to change the year? I mean, I've never seen that on any other type of digital watch where you would just, as I say, press a button in order to change the year. Am I being a little bit too far down the spectrum on this one with this, guys? Yeah. Anyway, I don't get it. Anyway, so top button then also scrolls through to what you have then is your dual time. So you're able to set two times on this. So yeah, nice and easy if you're traveling, you're overseas, etc. You need to then revert back to your home time. That aspect that I think that you have on here of the dual timer, I'll get into that in a second. Right now, let's go the other way around. So at the bottom here, then you've got mode and light. So clicking on the mode one, the first thing that comes up is then your dual timers. And again, nice design aspect here is that this button operates the top timer and this button operates the bottom timer. So again, nice and easy, single press and off it goes. You can run both of them at the same time. Again, now if we come back to the main screen, another interesting feature is that you can see, sorry, no, we're going back to the main screen, he says. So come back to the main screen, you can see that the two timers are still running in the center there. So you can still keep main time, etc., and run those timers in the background. Obviously, again, press, hold to clear. Some people may ask why you need 2 timers. I'm guessing if you're doing kind of sports, any other activities like that, it might be useful. As you can also see in the centre of the screen, while you're even in this mode, you still then get the time feature and the day feature also still showing. Second press, you've got what they call custom. So this is where you can set your respective time, your additional time zone. Sorry, there was one other thing that I was going to say. Let me come back to timer. So if we run one of these, again, if you can see on the centre of the screen, you get like a little flashing arrow, and again, that flashing arrow is indicative of the fact that the timer is still running. And then to go back in and clear it. But even when you, for example, you pause it, and you've still then got the time saved, so 16 seconds here. When you come back again on that main screen, you've then got a non-moving arrow, indicative of the fact that you've got that time registered in there. Third press on the mode brings you then to alarm. You've got multiple alarms to set during the day, and then this brings you back to obviously home screen, main screen. Okay, so light button also. So you can adjust the duration of the glow. It is a 5-year battery, bear that in mind. So putting it on full light is going to impact that. And again, nice feature on this is that it's illuminating the digits as opposed to sort of something on on the old thing here, which basically just brings you up then your just brings you up like a light shining from the. You see, I can't even operate it. A light shining from the corner. This one is highlighting those digits. So what else have we got then? So if we press and hold the mode button, that's what then brings us into the adjusts. So here you can adjust the time of your excuse me, it's this one. No, it's not. It's this one. There we can adjust the time and the brightness of the LED. You can then obviously you've got your time, year, date setting, etc. Yeah, again, nice and simple. 24-hour setting, my preference, and that's pretty much it. The dial display, yeah, it is dark. Here at home, as I say, just sort of looking at it for the last couple of days, I've not really seen any legibility issues at present. There is a green screen version of this, which I can imagine is a lot more legible. I've not yet been outside in the bright light to check on things like screen glare. How does this watch read? 12 o'clock sunshine, in the middle of the summer. Unfortunately, it's grey. And it actually snowed last night here in the UK in January. So again, I think that might be a consideration for the future. Coming back to other aspects of the watch, something I really like is the case design. And as I say, this is what attracted me, I think, to it initially. Super clean, very, very rugged, well considered. As I say, nice clean lines. It's no nonsense, it's no frills. You do have a 24mm lugs here. I'm so glad that they didn't throw this on a 20mm. It would have looked a little silly. The downside, though, I think to that is that these are screws into either side. Again, I've not had them off yet to check compatibility, but my initial thought is that you're going to struggle to find alternative straps for this. Clearly, you could use other regular straps, with the different colours, but finding sort of, say, you want to bung this on a NATO or something, I think that's going to be an issue. What else have we got? So we've got a blacked out buckle, which again is signed with Nixon. You also then have another signature here on the Tang nipple, and essentially this nipple then sits inside your keeper, then to keep it locked when it's on wrist, so you don't have loads of flapping around, etc. It's the same design function that you find on the G-Shock GBX, but the difference with the GBX is that the positioning of that was really in the wrong place. So it was down here. So basically you had this 2 centimeters of flap. Here it's perfectly placed. So again, a very, very good decision on the design aspect there. On the inside of the strap, you've got these ventings or water drain grooves on the reverse. The hinge is also articulated, It's a little clunky, but it is articulated, and I think it probably give you a little bit more flex than on the G-Shock squares. I like the strap particularly because it's super thick, and it feels tactile wise, it feels very, very nice. One of my complaints about the squares is that these straps are very, very flimsy. Having said that, I've never actually broken one or snapped one, but yeah, comfort wise, I'm not sure how great they are. If we compare it, for example, to the Frog, I mean, again, this is a proper, I mean, yeah, this is 10 years old now, but it's a proper solid thick strap. Yeah, just personal preference from myself. I'm sure a lot of people may prefer something lighter and more comfortable, or lighter because it's comfortable, excuse me. As I say, so I mentioned the screws on here. I'm not sure. I haven't worn this in the heat in the summer, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a sweater or again if it's going to be comfortable. I think all in all, it's a minimalistic watch. It's got a simple menu design, again minimal functions. It's a rugged design case, which to me lends, sort of it creates an overall aspect of simple and effective utility, and I like that about it. And as I say, that's what attracted me to it in the first place. As an alternative to your standard G-Shock squares, then yeah, I think for many people this is an interesting alternative. I mean, G-Shock squares have changed, a lot over the last few years, but the basic design image still does very much hark back to the 80s, whereas the Regulus does not in any way, shape or form. I mean, just to give you an overview, obviously, so 5610 in my right hand. So Regulus is considerably chunkier. 5610 here, again. Quick overview there. Bigger question, I think, as opposed to the design aspects and the overall sort of appearance of the watch, is it as robust as the G-Shocks? Again, I'm not sure. I haven't had it long enough. I'm not sure again if I'm going to put this back on Fleabay or keep it, trial it for about a year, give it a few good knocks and soaks to then be able to say yes, this watch is as robust and will hold up as much as your G-Shocks. The price on these things since their release a few years ago still staying around the £130–140. I thought they would come down. That there are very few sales where you can get these under £100. So that leads me to believe that they're still selling well, or that's just Nixon, holding tight on that one. In conclusion, I like this watch due to its lack of complexity. It doesn't have Bluetooth and step counters, but the first impressions to me are that it is an effective tool watch, which I hope has the longevity and the durability that it purports to have. I'll just give you a final overview there. As I say, lots of different colorways in this one. Should the sort of sand green coyote color not work for you? But anyway, let me know if you've got any experience, as I say, of having had this watch, 6 months to a year. Be interesting to know what your feedback is. Has it held up? And probably the wrap for today. Appreciate your views and comments as always, guys. Hope the overview was useful to you. And of course, until the next time, this is the Bombardier signing off. Cheers, guys.